We may be heading toward a showdown between the president and Congress over how and where terror suspects are detained. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge has an update.
With more than $600 billion in military funding hanging in the balance, the White House spokesman indicated the president would veto the Defense Authorization Act if the detainee provisions remain in the bill.
The Senate has unfortunately engaged in a little political micromanagement at the expense of sensible national security policy, so our position has not changed.
By a vote of 93-7, the act cleared the Senate Thursday night. Under a controversial provision, virtually every terrorism suspect captured overseas or on U.S. soil would be sent to military custody unless the executive branch issues a national security waiver.
I would argue that the homeland is part of the battlefield, and we should protect the homeland above anything else.
Detractors say the provision oversteps congressional authority and undercuts the U.S. Constitution.
The government cannot take from you your life, your liberty, or your property without the process of law.
The powerful chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee secured a narrow 11th-hour compromise. It says American citizens or legal residents must be handled in accordance with existing law.
I want to be able to assure people in the United States that their rights under American law are protected.
Human rights groups say existing law is unsettled, citing al-Qaeda members Jose Padilla and Ali Al-Mari. Both men were captured on U.S. soil and held by the military without charge. Before their cases reached the Supreme Court, the men were transferred to federal custody for criminal trials.
I think the president really has to veto this bill because codifying indefinite detention inside the U.S., mandating military detention for all terrorism suspects found inside the U.S. would really set the U.S. back, decades in terms of how we approach terrorism.
National intelligence as well as the CIA and FBI directors are on the record against the Senate provision. That said, critics of the White House argue that Congress had to step in because 3 years after taking office, the Obama administration still has no clear detention policy. Brett.
Catherine, thank you.